Okay, yes. Hello, family. I had to double check and make sure that my headphones were connected, right? And I'm outside in the park, family, as you can see. Um, just getting some energy from the trees, from this cold air out here today. But excuse the coffee mouth, right? Because I have my coffee because it's a little chilly out here, hence why I have my hoodie up. But as you can see, the sun is shining down on me, right? But I wanted to do this video today in reference of shadow work, right? And protecting our energy, okay? Because it is multiple different ways of protecting your energy, as well as how you can recognize it, right? Because a lot of us don't recognize protecting our energy, right? Hence why I wanted to talk about it. Because some of us don't recognize energy vampires, okay? And you may be one. You may be one as well. I don't know. I'm just speaking from experience, as well as being able to, and people that I spoke to about this same situation and how they've dealt with it. Let me see if I can get the sun out of the way. Okay, there we go. Okay. And I just wanted to come and make a shadow work video about that today. So as you guys know, when I come outside into nature, right? When I'm outside, which is beautiful out here today, right? I kind of sit and think about a lot of things, okay? Sorry, I got lipstick everywhere, family. And do a little meditation. It is cool out here today though, right? But it's not as cold as I thought it was gonna be, but I just had the urge of getting out in nature. I'm holding my phone, so if it's moving a lot, that's why, right? Because I don't have anything out here, it's just me, right? And so, but I wanted to come and talk to you guys about being able to recognize when something is overbearing, when something feels heavy in reference of the energy. Even people and some places can make you feel this way, right? But being able to recognize these things, okay? And understanding that it's okay sometimes to say no, it's okay sometimes to recognize that maybe you do feel overwhelmed by a place or a person, or even the energy of the day, you know what I'm saying? And knowing how to push back, how to protect your energy, how to, move forward without feeling guilty in some ways. Because sometimes people feel guilty about protecting their energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if it's you and you're dealing with this about, being around friends and family and those that really want to spend time with you, but maybe you feel like it's depleting your energy in some type of way. Maybe they're negative people, maybe they're toxic people, maybe they don't even know that they're being toxic, right? Maybe they don't know. But you being aware and on your spiritual journey, awareness and mindfulness, right, points to what it is that they may not recognize. And some of us, we recognize it because we are practicing mindfulness, because we are practicing understanding when things get a little crazy for us, right? And how to be able to recognize that is to be able to pull back sometimes, okay? So one of the ways to protect is to don't overgive, right? Don't overgive. Don't overgive your energy. Don't overgive your space. Maintain your mental. Don't overgive your advice sometimes. Sometimes that can get overwhelming, right? There's multiple things in reference of protecting your energy, okay? Start with self-care daily. That is the number one thing you should be doing, is self-care, A part of my self-care is to get out in nature like I'm doing today out in the park. Y'all know this is one of my favorite parks to come to, especially in the summertime. I don't come as much in the winter because it's so cold, right? But do some self-care for yourself, right? Get out and sorry family, I you know, when I start hearing things move around me, I got to pay attention because I'm out here by myself, right? Even though I am I don't move around without having protection spiritually as well as physically, all right? But it's other people in the park, okay? But you know, start with daily health care. Start with daily self-care. When I say healthcare, I'm including that in the self-care in reference of protecting your energy. Make sure you're exercising, not only exercising your body, but exercising your mind, you see. Nurture yourself into some things. Do some things for yourself. But the first thing I talked about was do not overgive. When you love and care about people, it's easy to want to give too much of yourself as well. And some of you feel like that is a part of your self-care. But sometimes you need to hold some for you, family. Not sometimes, majority of the times, right? Because everything starts with who? You. Okay? So we always discuss that in our shadow work, right? Is that it starts with you. Nurturing yourself every day to maintain your energy. And don't overgive. Don't overgive too much of your time, family. Because people will take your time, family. People will take your energy. But you got to recognize it. If you don't recognize it, no one else will. And they'll keep doing it over and over and over. And some people are greedy of your time. Energy vampires. And they can be within your family. They could be within your friends. They could be within your co-workers, your work, right? And so it takes you being mindful to understand that, okay? And recognize that, okay? Sometimes it calls for us to have a complete disconnect to protect your energy. When I say complete disconnect, what does that mean? Disconnecting from 3D, this world that be, right? Get you some time away from these phones. I know we do a lot with the phones. We deal with phones every day. We deal with social media. We deal with all these computers that rule the world. But sometimes we have to unplug, family. You have to. Get out in nature, right? Do some things that'll help you. Get out and smell the freshness of air. Get outside of those four walls that you live in. Disconnect from your phone, from those busy schedules. Disconnect from the family. Disconnect from some friends sometimes. Give yourself some leeway, right? Don't overindulge in things, right? And make yourself unreachable sometimes. Okay, that's another way to protect your energy. And some people look at that as like, that's a bad thing. Family, I'm here to tell you it's not. It's not. Sometimes you need to be unreachable, because if you are reachable at every second of the day, just like they have those apps now where, you know, you can monitor where people are all the time and stuff like that. Yeah, that's good for safety. You know what I'm saying? Because we do live in a different day and time. But sometimes you got to disconnect, you know? Sometimes you need to disconnect, you know, and limit your distractions. That's another way to protect your energy. Limit your distractions. Move things out the way, right? Do some things that'll help you move things out the way, family, right? Like with me, coming out and sitting on the stool out here or out in the park before I go and hug my favorite tree, right? I decided to come and eat my lunch out here today and do the protect your energy video, because that's what I'm doing, is protecting my energy, right? Even disconnecting. This is a part of my protecting my energy, is disconnecting, right? And so once I put this phone down and cut my other phone off, I'm going to disconnect and meditate out here for a little while, eat my lunch. You know, it is cold out here, but I needed a breath of fresh air to reconnect to nature. Some of us need to do that. Take your feet, put them in the dirt, touch the trees and you know, smell the fresh air. These are things that you need to do even in the cold, okay? because nature takes care of us in both. You know, I hate the cold, but I love nature, right? And as a spiritual being on your spiritual journey, that is one thing that you have to realize, and that is in the present, that nature is what keeps us going, what gives us oxygen, and what helps us in reference of purity, family. All right? So take breaks, right? Take breaks, limit your distractions. Don't let everything distract you, especially the things that you're taking in. When I say limit your distraction, that's another way of protecting your energy. Watch what you're listening to. Don't always look at everything on the news and take it for face value. Watch what you're watching on the media, on the television. Watch what you're watching, family. Pay attention to what you're listening to with the music. Listen to some frequency music, right? To raise your vibration, to shift the energy, right? So these are the things that's going to help you on your spiritual journey in reference to protecting your energy. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to raise your vibration, and that's what you should want to do, right? Other things is take control of your calendar and your invitations to things and the events and all of these different things that could come up for you. Sometimes it's okay to say no. You can't do everything with everybody, family, okay? And sometimes doing everything with everybody takes away from your time to yourself. Time for you to recharge, time for you to focus, time for you to do things that's going to get you back aligned. And some of you wonder, how am I out of balance? How do I get back aligned? Well, first, it starts with you even being able to sit still. Some of you can't sit still. That's a nerve thing as well. It's an attention thing. And it's also a spiritual thing. Because if you can't sit still, you can't meditate, right? Stillness comes with that. That's a big form of protecting your energy, okay? Now, pay attention to your emotions to protect your energy. How do you feel today? Do you feel like going into work? Do you feel like you have what it takes to make moves on whatever it is that you need to do? How do you feel? Listen and take heed to your emotions. That's the first start also of protecting your energy, because if you don't know how you feel, how in the world are you going to be able to work with other people and move around and be able to protect your own energy? So sometimes it takes us actually questioning ourselves. That also goes back to this being a shadow work video, setting boundaries. A part of that is setting boundaries, right? A part of that is setting boundaries, family. And setting boundaries is healthy. Don't allow no one to tell you that setting boundaries is something that's mean, or, you know, you don't control yourself or something of that sort. No, setting boundaries is healthy. It's a part of you being able to say no, a part of you being able to say, you know what, it's about me. I'm going to push back from this because I know it's about me. It's okay. That's a part of setting boundaries. And sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, we need to set boundaries, right? Because if you don't set boundaries, your life can get into chaos. It can go havoc. And when your life is chaotic, family, that's a potion of destruction, right? And with destruction, there's no way that you want that in your life. I'm going to tell you that, right? So think outside the box with setting boundaries, however it resonates with you in your life, whether that's you deciding, you know what, listen, they work me Monday through Friday. Well, Saturday and Sunday, I'm taking it for myself. Damn it, that's what it should be. That's setting a boundary, and you stick to that. That's setting a boundary. That's creating space for yourself. That's healthy, you know? And maybe those are the days that you decide to get out and take those walks or the exercise, or, you know, maybe that's the days that you decide that you're going to do just plant-based eating those days, right? That's a part of you becoming healthy. That's also a part of you protecting your energy. Look at that sun shining through on us, honey. Yes, right? We receive with ease all of the sunshine. Right, family? So definitely understand what drains you. That's the main thing of protecting your energy. Understand what drains you, what makes you feel exhausted. If you're around somebody and they make you feel exhausted, it's time to get away. Woo, sorry, family. It's time to get away from that person or that place or that thing. You know, if you're on a job and it makes you feel like you just can't take it, you don't even feel like you want to get up and move, go there. You don't even feel like that's something that's draining you. That's something you need to release, right? And it's easier said than done. Yes, I get that and I understand that, family. But sometimes we have to make sacrifices. We have to make sacrifices, and it's all on you to make those sacrifices. That's why this is shadow work, because it's not easy. It's never going to be easy, okay? So decluttering your space is also a part of you protecting your energy, right? Decluttering your space, because if your space is cluttered, family, you're going to feel cluttered. You're going to have cluttered thoughts. You're going to have cluttered space. You're going to feel that in a tremendous way. So you want to make sure that you're, have a clean space. Cleanse your space, as well as that rolls into another part of protecting your energy, is that you need to cleanse your space with maybe even saging, cleaning, okay? Burning incense, right? Spraying the, I always bring my, I have it on me too, family, but use you some sacred space, right? The meditation spray I use, spray it around you, spray it in your space, spray it around your car, wherever you are. If you meditate in something, that's to break up that negative energy, because remember, protecting your energy is about removing yourself from that energy, as well as, tapping into your emotions and your feelings as well, okay? So with doing that, you can't be in a space of clutter, right? Plus, it's just not sacred, okay? Even spiritually, all right? So don't aim for perfection either. Let go of thinking that you got to be perfect, because you don't, okay? Protect your energy that way. Manifest your desires is what my logo is, right? Because you want to protect your energy and manifest your desires. Manifesting your desires is also about you taking action. Remember, I always tell you, when people say, oh, light a candle and just put something under it and manifest and say, and it's going to happen. No, it's not. You got to take action. That action is, yes, your intent. That's your intent. But that's not manifesting. Manifesting is putting action behind the task, or behind the intent. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Putting action behind the intent. That's manifesting something, right? So your intent starts out with that, okay, yes, that candle, that writing it down, but did you get up and make sure that you put in 12 applications so you can get that you just manifested? Or did you get up and did you make that phone call? Did you get up and write whatever it was down that you needed to? Did you get up and get on the computer and do whatever it is that is needed? It takes action, okay? So also take some spiritual baths, okay? Cleanse your energy by taking you some spiritual baths, family. Get you some spiritual baths. We have spiritual baths on my website, we have lavender, we have abundance baths, we have the coconut bath, right? So all those spiritual baths can help you, okay? Cleanse your energy, cleanse your aura from picking up negativity from different places and people and spaces, right? So you want to do that too. Another thing is you want to stay positive. Say some positive affirmations over your life. I am abundant. I am abundant. I am abundant. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am protected. I am protected. I am protected. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am positive. I am positive. I am positive. Just speaking those words out into the ether, out into the universe, those things come to a pass, family. Sometimes it's about you stopping and realizing that you need to do these things, right? Being mindful because you've spoken so much negativity out into the ethers and over yourself that you don't even realize you've spoken that negativity into your life. It's about protecting your energy and being able to shift that energy as well, right? It's not always about you moving yourself out of some type of energy, which it is about that. I'm not saying that, because a lot of you have put yourself in those situations where you need to check who you're around. You need to check what you're listening to. You need to check what you're looking at, what you're seeing. You need to check yourself, right? All of these things are a part of you protecting your energy. And so I have a lot of things written down that I'm going to tell you guys about, but those were the main things I wanted to tell you about. It is a difference in reference of spiritual hygiene. You should be doing some things as on your spiritual journey that come daily, which is, meditation. Understanding that you have to cleanse yourself. You have to cleanse your space. You have to cleanse, right? Because you're picking up so much negative energy, right? Especially my divination readers. You should be cleansing, if not once or twice a week, every day, okay? Saging and using your Florida waters and doing your spiritual baths and also cleansing your homes. Watching the people you allow in your space, in your home, in your car, around you, touching you, right? All of that is protecting your energy, setting energetic boundaries, right? Setting energetic boundaries would be you start becoming aware of how different people, places, things impact your energy levels, and identify what drains you and setting those boundaries. All these things I just talked about in this video. Daily clearing rituals, right? Smudging with your palo, your sage, your herbs, salt baths. Also visualization. Visualize yourself, in a bubble, right? And think of that bubble. I always say it. I got this from another spiritualist that I listened to, and she said, envision while you're meditating or even while you're visualizing that you're in a bubble of love, a shield of protection by your spirit guides, and think of them being around that bubble, keeping you protected and guarded. Sometimes it's about visualizing that in your mind, family. Try that when you get into an area or you feel negativity around you and it feels overwhelming. Put yourself in that bubble, okay? And ask the Most High and your ancestors to come in now and protect you. Also, sound healing, singing bowls. I showed you guys earlier on Is It For You? I was using my tuning fork. I use that to clear my energy, to clear the energy on my decks as well. But using those tuning forks, singing bowls, listen to the things on YouTube, the frequency music. That can also help you protect your energy and remove negative energy from you. But it's all in all, family, about being mindful of your energy. That's how you protect your energy. Don't allow any and everybody to be around you or you to be around them. Or you don't have to be in every space that it is that you feel like it's going to be something that, that you have to have, right? Because remember, it's all about sometimes about, it's not about what you want. It's about what you need. Sometimes what you need may not feel that great because of what you want, right? So remember that. And speak positivity, and also to protect your energy is to be of gratitude. You know, go out in nature like I am today and tell the Most High and the Sun, the S-U-N, thank you, thank you. Look at the sun right there. Thank you, gratitude, gratitude to the sun, family, right? I give all praise to the Most High and my ancestors for carrying me, protecting me, keeping me safe. These are the things that you should be putting out there in the energy of your space, in nature, in the ethers, right? You should be speaking this, showing gratitude for the things that you have and the things that are to come in your life, okay? So these are the things that can help you in reference of protecting your energy. And I just wanted you to actually be able to tap in, and I wanted to bring you some of these things and the things that I've pulled up and researched, and you know, things that I've used on my path, right? And to, you know, another thing I found was to seal off your spiritual energy. I love that. That's that thing of putting yourself in that spiritual bubble. Another thing I seen that a spiritualist put was cloak, right? To cloak yourself, right? Put a spiritual cloak over you, just like you wear the spiritual cloaks. How I have this on my head, and it's kind of like they wear those things that you can buy. Imagine that, visualize that. If you don't have anything to actually cloak yourself, or you don't know a way of cloaking yourself, it's all about visualization, because remember, it starts with the mental, your mind. Remember, I told you, family, that's the first universal law. It's all mental. Everything is mental, right? And it starts with that, starts with you. That's why nobody else can control you in reference of shadow work, because shadow work is you deep diving into your shadow self. That's you, okay? So know that. I love you guys, through the darkness to the light. I didn't want this to be that long, but those are just some things that I've researched as well as I have done, and I know that have helped me, right? In reference of protecting my energy. And it shall help you protect yours as well. But also get out in some nature, get you some fresh air, right? Utilize the things that you do know and the things that, you know, we all have in common, which is we all want our space, right? So take that, you know, don't let nobody rule your energy, family. Be mindful of it, all right? I love you guys, through the darkness to the light. Till the next time. Bye.
Gratitude for the sunshine. Gratitude for the moonlight. Every day feels like a new